What is NEM and how does it apply to solar? NEM stands for Net Energy Metering, and it is the program that the utilities offer solar clients to be able to exchange solar credits back and forth to the grid. So I'm going to explain net metering in more detail. The way it works is when you interconnect a solar system to the grid, you're going to then be switched over to a net metering program that allows your bidirectional meter to send credits back and forth to the grid, right? So during the day when the system is producing power, you're then going to be sending the power to the house, and anything that can be used at that time will be used. Anything extra will then get sent to the meter and then get sent to the grid, and they keep track of that through the smart meter, right? So when you're sending power to the meter, they're gonna track all the credits, and then at nighttime, that's gonna be the net, right? That's why it's called net metering, because it's the net difference of what you produce during the day and what you consume at nighttime. That's the net consumption. So on the bill, when you read it, it's going to say what your net consumption is and what your net generation is. Okay, what they don't show you on the bill is anything that doesn't hit the meter. So anything that goes directly to the house and is used immediately will not be shown on the bill. They're only going to show you what hits the meter, right? So the net generation, what you send to the grid outside of what is used at the home during the day, right? Then at nighttime, after 6, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever time the sun goes down, you're then going to be using power from the grid, and you're going to be taking credits or taking power from the grid, and that is your net consumption. And so the way this exchange works is at the end of the month, they're going to calculate what your net generation was and what your net consumption was, and they're going to offset each other. So all you're doing is exchanging credits. The same thing happens throughout the year, right? In the wintertime, you're not running the AC, so you're using less power in the winter or in the spring, but you're producing some power, sometimes excess power, and so you're accumulating some credits, right? But then as soon as June or July hits and you start using the AC, you're then going to be using more power than what the system is producing, right? Because your consumption has increased substantially. So now you're using a lot more power in the summertime, and so you're gonna offset some of that extra power from the wintertime or from the spring, right? So it's on a 12-month cycle. That's what the true-up bill is. So at the end of 12 months, right, after you've gone through all of the seasons, you're either gonna have a balance or you're gonna have a credit, right? If you have a credit at the end of 12 months, then you will get paid out for that credit. It's not gonna be the retail price, it's gonna be the wholesale price, right? But you will still get paid out for that credit. If at the end of 12 months you used more, your net consumption was more than your net generation, then you're going to pay the difference of what the system didn't cover, right? So that is the basic exchange of how net metering works. Whenever your system gets turned on for the year, that's when your system or your relevant period restarts. So if your system was installed in March, right, and it was turned on in March, every March your true-up bill is going to be due, right? And you'll know each month, you'll get a statement from the utility, and they'll tell you where you're at year to date. Every single month, they'll tell you where you're at year to date. You can also go online and see exactly what you produce per day, per month, per year, all of those things, right? So you can see the net generation and you can see the net consumption. So again, this is the net metering program. This is what allows customers to install solar and be able to exchange credits back and forth to the grid without having to store power or install batteries or anything like that. Follow us for more solar content.